All right. In this video, we're going to be talking about the girl on your screen right this side, Maki. Yes. I'm doing good. I hope you guys are too. Since I've started wanting to lose weight again, 13 pounds down on the cut, looking great. Reading Gachyakuta, which by the way, this is what you should be reading, okay? It's really good. It's really, really good. So listen, if you got time and you like reading manga, read Gachyakuta or wait for the anime. Absolutely amazing. I finished volume 1. So peak. Now, we got to talk about some problems with Maki, but also at the same time, something really good with Maki. Okay, so there's both sides to it, and I want to have a nice civil discussion about what you guys think. And to be fair, I'm playing on the very, very risky side because in 2 days' time, less than 2 days' time, 36 hours, not even. 37. We're gonna know what the Shibuya unit is, and that might usher in a completely new era. Okay, it just might. And I just want to talk about two main things, well, kind of three. First of all, Maki's kit, and also just what we've seen with the recent just the recent units coming out since I would say first anniversary on JP, which overall has been really good. I also want to talk about Maki's kit. The one problem with Maki's kit that I see after playing with her for about, I'd say 3 to 4 hours, that's about how much time I've put into her, mainly in sweep battle because overall she's just really good in tower, right? And the final thing I want to talk about is the kind of, there's no need to really get any of these units. But at the same time, the flip side is that at least they're all good. So we'll see how that ends up playing out in the long run. But we'll start with what I don't like about this Maki. And that maybe you would consider a skill issue, but I'm going to give you my viewpoint as to why she is potentially a bit too restricted. So I was talking with Mark. Okay, so he's a guy in the JJK server. He's a staff member. And he is a big Maki fan, has her dupe 3. So we both have maybe biased opinions of this Maki for sure, but one of the things that I brought up and I think is actually really relevant is that she has a very restrictive kit. So essentially, depending on which skill you use, you're going to get certain buffs. If you use Flying Kunai, this is going to give you Taijutsu, and this is going to give you Alt Gauge. If you use skill 2, it's going to give you Cutting Knife, which is going to give you crit rate, and here it's going to give you crit damage, right? And then if you use the skill 3, it's going to give you the All Out Full Sword, and that's going to give you damage reduction, and that's going to give you Alt Gauge increase. So the one problem that I see with this is in sweep battle, and I would say her weakness to me is sweep battle, and let me explain why. Now, this is subject to change, and if it does end up changing, I will update this video. I just will, okay? I mean, these are my current thoughts after playing with her myself. The max rank I was able to get with a dupe 0 Maki, very important, a dupe 0 Maki is 31 million. Now, 31 million might sound like, holy shit, that's a lot. But nowadays, you're trying to get to that full amount of damage. So 31 million is about halfway, okay? And I would definitely say it is not enough for me personally, but at the same time, I think if you do end up getting her, she is a really good unit. But I do need to talk about her one flaw because I gassed her up a lot in the previous videos, and I think it's also fair to talk about her one flaw. And let me get into this, and that is mainly the fact that she is so restrictive in the turn order. So it is, I want to make sure it's understood, it is good what they're doing with this Maki because of the fact that they are making it that it's different, right? You could play her a bunch of different ways depending on what you're looking for, but for the most part, you're trying to get big damage. Now you look at the other, right, the other tiers, well, the other units in the top tiers, and for the most part, it's very straightforward buffs. You use the same skill over and over, right? You get your ult and then you use skill 3. This, you use your same skill, you buff, right? No buffs really needed. You buff, right? You just attack. You do your turn orders. He's probably one of the more intricate units. Buff, right? Get your ult and then you're kind of set. Do your buffs, right? A lot of the big units like Gojos, especially Gojos, like to get their buffs in a very linear fashion. But here we're kind of just swapping around. My favorite thing to do personally is use the skill 1, get the Flying Kunai. Flying Kunai is then going to give you Taijutsu for 3 turns, all right? 60% total. And then after, you're going to get the Cutting Knife, and Cutting Knife is going to give you the crit damage. So when you go on the ult with a guaranteed crit on the 4th hit, you're going to have a 50% crit damage buff, a 60% taijutsu buff, and then also you're going to have the 20% here and the 30% here if it's single target. So overall, it does stack up pretty well. Now, My one thing is that when you're trying to play with someone like Degumi or Domain Gojo, you will oftentimes lose out on stuff unless you get perfect rotations. Now, I personally believe we are in the phase of the game where we shouldn't really have to require RNG for a lot of this, right? Because these units should be clearing it with a good amount of ease. Now, I would still argue she is like the second best blue DPS, right? Now, the thing is, I'm saying this, but a video is about to come out, well, soon, about me hating on Zonji. And there's a completely valid reason. People do not like him that are JP players. They do not like him. But is he still top tier? Yeah. I just want to bring this up for a point of discussion. Now, I would definitely say that the fact that you have to use the skill 1 into the skill 2 into the skill 3, what happens if you miss a crit and you're using like-minded sisters and then you're not able to ult? Then your taijutsu buff goes away. And that becomes a problem when you need to time it with Domain Megumi, and then you have to make it so that it's on the third hit for both of them. I do believe, from what I've seen, I've tried it many different ways, tried it in the way that works if you have dupes in Maki, tried it in the way that I feel works better without dupes, and that's essentially just stalling with Degumi's ult for the second half, using Maki's ult second phase, using Maki's ult in the first phase, using Degumi's ult in the second phase, being able to nuke one tap once we get Maki's ult the second time in that second phase, and doing as much as possible in the third phase, which is only like 10 million, right? Which sounds good, but she's level 140 max SP boosted, so she's even higher than she should be for you guys on global, right? And I do believe that the fact that you have to go from one to another without much kind of, you can't, like, let's say you mess up one part of it, or you do it a turn early, a turn later, not even that. Let's say you just get unlucky, like I said, with like-minded sisters. There could be problems in those cases, and then her damage just plummets down, okay? So that's the only thing. I wanted to bring it up. Now let's go on to the next point. What's good is, what I've realized is the unit's quality has gone up, right? Since, actually, who came out first in this? I guess we could say since Green Muta, because Green Miwa was ass, but since Green Muta, like, the unit quality's been really good. Every single unit we've gotten from that point, being Inumaki, being Shoko, Muta also, and then also now Maki, and probably also Gojo or whoever we get, the unit quality has been very consistent, and I do think this is good, because what this does is, while I believe Maki does have problems, can she clear tower? Yes. Can everyone at this point clear tower? Yes. And honestly, that is becoming a good thing, because the next thing is becoming sweep. Now, honestly, I would like these units to start being able to do pretty well in sweep, at least very good at dupe 0, to where they could get an easy 40-50 million, but it's not the case at the moment. But I really do think this Maki is showing me, especially because it's the first DPS, true DPS we've had since Muta, that there is an increase in quality in the units, kits, which is good. Because now, I think what it is looking like is that they're realizing, okay, tower's not really that difficult, so either the next power creep is going to be, like, in content is going to be really bad, well, really strong, like a big power creep, or they're kind of making it that now it's like they're kind of focusing it around the sweep battle. Only problem that I see with that is that it doesn't really give many reoccurring rewards besides buffing units. So I do hope that more tower floors come out to where now even these units can work, and only these units work, but it is a challenge. But overall, I have seen that while all these units may have some problems, now let me list the problems because I'm just saying this off the bat, right? So I could definitely, hold on, my bad, I'm trying to find timeline of events. So if we go here, Muta I'd say is overall really good. It's just the fact that he's not much better than Hollow Purple, if at all, okay? So it's just like a rehash. It's like, if you like Muta, then you know, you get him, right? And then over here, Red Inumaki only really could use on red, if not rare Inumaki's better, right? Doesn't really work too well as a DPS, but can work. Shoko is only yellow, right? So it's like the mono restrictions do kind of hurt in that. And then of course, Maki is what I talked about, is that her kit does become restrictive in the way you could play it, because one turn buffs are too low, right? It's usually 2 or 3 turns. And also, it's hard to use it with units like Domain Megumi, and especially Domain Gojo in sweep battle, specifically sweep battle, right? In tower, like I said, Maki clears very easily. But we could see all these units could easily clear tower, and or facilitate it if you're support, obviously, because it's not like you're the one personally clearing tower, but still very good. So I do have to say for that, these units kits have been looking a lot better, which to me screams that we're going to get power creep soon. That's usually how games work. They increase the units to be able to clear the previous content, and then they bring out even something even harder, right? And that's kind of what we're looking at. Like, and to be fair, I'm looking right now on my calendar, Hafani is very soon. Right, so I could see Hafani having some insane power creep, and I think that's probably what they're preparing for, in my own opinion. But I would have to say, Maki is very good, does have a problem, still is very good. I think she could have been a bit better, but like where she's at for a Maki, I'm happy with. I think she's good. Did she annoy me? Yes. My one problem, the initial point of this video was that the wiki had her too high. Before, she was above Zonji over here, which was 1000% wrong. Now, I could agree with it much more. I'd even swap Blue Gojo and Blue Ghetto, just swap these two, Blue Ghetto behind Blue Gojo ahead, and I'd be happy. But overall, if you want a Maki, this is the Maki to go for. Do not go for Green Maki. And we're going to have a wonderful time together, enjoying all our units. Definitely now, what's cool is that when they're rehashing all these units, right? Maki, Maki, right? And is there anyone else really that they've done this to? I guess Megumi, but not really. Like all these units seemingly are all like at least at a line that now there's a benchmark. If there's any unit that's below the benchmark, you will be hearing from me, and trust that you will. Okay, but I'm honestly very happy. There is a problem with Shoko. I don't know why I had Shoko. There's a problem with Maki, but at the same time, she's good. She's good enough, and I definitely think that's nice. I just have my gripes, but in this specific, in this specific box that we're looking at in this void that we're looking at in, it's good. It's good, and I'm happy. So, hope that makes sense. Let me know if you disagree with my personal gripes on it. I have had problems in the sweep battle, and I'm literally not going to be able to finish it, I think, with Maki Dupe 0. It does require a very different playstyle, but overall, she is very good. And it's kind of crazy that even being an SS doesn't necessarily guarantee you to really go too crazy. Now, I also had, this was really funny. I had someone say that I refer to the wiki and don't make my own thoughts. I hope they know I actively talk to the people who make this tier list to get it changed. I'm one of the reasons why Green Muta's here. Did they move up Blue Toto or no? I got Green G in SS. I got Green UG in SS. That's a dub. I got Blue Maki moved down because I was hating, right? So it's I'm using this because it is as close to my opinions as I could get without opening tier maker. This just looks a bit better in my opinion. I don't care if it's 100% accurate. It's decent enough, right? But yeah, that's basically it. Have a good day. Hope you guys are doing well. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Let me know what you think of Maki. Do you agree with what I don't like about her? Do you agree with what I like about the more recent units in the last 2 months? I honestly think they've been doing pretty good. Yeah, I would say they've been doing pretty good. I almost wanted Maki to be better. I need her to fucking easy clap sweep battle now. But still, in the future, bro, when she's on standard, she's going to be going crazy. Her stats are really good. Did they get changed? No, okay. All right, it's fine. I'll see you in the next one. Like the video. Have a good day.